Thunder Bay Grill has a lot of great meals, and I cannot wait to dive in to their tasty dishes. Zach, you put out a lot of food for me. You really did. This looks all amazing. I mean, we saw these couple of dishes getting put together a little bit, but this guy, he looks intriguing as well. But I'm gonna start here. Your Thunder Bay, you're kind of known for your seafood. Let's jump into your jambalaya. What do we got going on here?
So you have a classic Cajun spice, Tabasco, andouille sausage, shrimp, all tossed together with peppers, onions, with rice and browned or burnt tomato paste and purees, making to build those flavors up and really hone in on that traditional Creole dish.
I love the heat is immediate. It's boom right there. It's first and foremost. It's not overwhelming, but it's letting you know it's there, and I love that. And this is a classic jambalaya, plenty of rice, and these little bit of vegetables that you get mixed in here as well. And that little bit of sausage is fantastic. It's a little bit. There's a lot of sausage packed in here. This is great. So tell me a little bit more about the menu. I mean, as far as what's the overall kind of theme that you're going for?
So this restaurant, the best way I would describe it is we are a steak and seafood house with Cajun flair. We've got several different options like the jambalaya, our shrimp Cajun pasta. There's also on Fridays, Saturdays when we do our house prime rib, we actually offer a Cajun spiced option as well. So really keeping that little tweak of the Cajun theme. It fits the aesthetic of our restaurant as well as the flavor profile.
Wow. This is good. That's a really good jambalaya. And then the steak with this melted parm butter on top. What else do we got? What's going on here?
So 12-ounce aged New York strip butchered in-house. Served mid-rare with our compound Parmesan butter toasted over the top. Packs a lot of flavor, and with the nice marbling that comes from New York, kind of all just blends together.
The crusted butter on top, that's really interesting. As far as texture-wise, as far as flavor-wise, it's bringing a really unique element to it. So tell me a little bit more about Thunder Bay. You guys been around for quite a while.
Yep. So they've been around for, it's coming up on about 40 years, give or take. And one of those struggles and stuff like that is, like, look, everything's new popping up. We want to see new, different, better. That's how we all are. So keeping up with these trends, doing these features, and like compound butters and stuff like that, it's really something that's going to hone in and kind of help this restaurant shine like it was before.
Right. I would say elevates it as well. And certainly, I've had a wonderful New York strip, all over the place, but I don't think I've never had it with this. And this is different and it's unique, and it brings a little bit more between the flavor and getting that butter melted into the strip that's great. I'll come back to him later.
I will say one of our other steak offerings is the Medallion Trio, where we actually utilize that same compound butter that's on the New York, in addition to a Gorgonzola and a bacon compound butter, and it's set apart on 3 different filet medallions.
Just taking things in all kinds of different directions, even on the plate. We've got a cocktail here. What do we got this guy?
So Cody Road Old Fashioned, working with local distilleries at the Mississippi Distillery in LeClaire. They do a lot of our in-house liquors and stuff like that. That's their traditional old fashioned. Yeah. We use a dehydrated candied orange wedge.
Yeah.
And it really puts just that slight twist on a classic drink.
Right. I was going to say, this orange, it looks a little bit different, and I was kind of wondering what the process was. It's a fantastic old-fashioned. It's hard to go wrong with an old-fashioned, and this is really, really excellent as well. Okay, now what do we have here? This looks incredibly interesting. What is this guy?
So it's a twist on a Maine-style lobster roll. It's being served cold. You have garlic, mayonnaise, fresh herbs like dill, lemon juice, with poached lobster tossed into it, served on a New England-style roll that's split top. A lot of people call it a hot dog bun, just based off of how they do it.
Sure.
But it's a very classic twist on a dish, elevating our new menu, bringing more seafood options in.
Right.
So this is one of our new additions to our lunch menu, having those fresh herbs, that dill, that really shine through, do a nice, light, hearty lunch while still maintaining that seafood flair.
Okay, now what do we have here? This is that ravioli. I saw you mix it up.
Yes. So you have the smoked chicken thighs in a marsala cream sauce, very herbaceous. You have a 4-cheese ravioli in there as well. That just all of those flavors coming together with that subtle smoke on the back end really just helps that dish shine.
Yeah, bigger. I mean, tell you, I'm talking about big is the flavor of this dish. It's got a nice solid pop to it. The cheese ravioli, it's perfect. I love that nice big cheese flavor, and that crostini really elevates as far as texture-wise the whole dish. Really great. And then you also got a couple of desserts for us. I'm going to start here with this creme brulee.
So here we have a classic rendition of a creme brulee, served with both a raspberry and chocolate sauce.
Got that great. Oh,
yep,
that's perfect.
that shattered glass of sugar to really bring it in true to home. It's creamy. It's got that nice hint of vanilla on the back end, and giving you the options of raspberry or chocolate to elevate it as you eat is just a phenomenal pairing.
Well, this is really, really excellent as well. Oh, wow. And that little bit of raspberry, that's really good. I'm going to try one more bite here with the chocolate.
Awesome.
What other dessert options do you have?
So we have a chocolate lava cake. It seems to be about a week and a half to 2 weeks we do a rotating cheesecake. Currently our cheesecake feature is a caramel apple bourbon.
Oh, wow.
And we always have a carrot cake on the menu with caramel drizzle and candied pecans.
Interesting.
What we have here is actually one of our dessert features.
Yeah.
It's a classic take on a panna cotta.
Okay.
A thickened, sweetened, sour cream-based dessert with fresh mango puree, edible orchid, and fresh berries.
That panna cotta, that's really interesting. Having that little bit of sour bite, it's a little bit more of a restrained cheesecake almost. That mango puree was excellent as well. I'm going to try to get a fresh berry.
Every day we should be looking at focusing on what we can do better, what our guest feedback is. There's been times where we've ran a dish for a weekend as a feature and be like, all right, cool, this isn't working, next.
Yeah.
And we change it up immediately. Every week and a half, like I said, we're doing new cheesecakes, we're doing new seafood features. We're playing around with a new menu concept as a whole for the restaurant, looking at new lunch features, always bringing in new, bigger, better.
Wow. Well, bigger, better, you've hit all my taste buds for sure. Really a lot of variety, really interesting dishes with big, bold flavors, and some fantastic desserts. Zach, thanks for having us in.
Of course, thank you for coming.